Hello students, now in previous video we have seen all the types of measures of central tendency according to our syllabus. That is, one is a mathematical measures of central tendency, that is arithmetic mean, and other two are the positional measures of central tendency, that are median and mode. For all types of series, also we have seen how to determine median and mode graphically and merits and demerits of all of them. Now let us see a relation between them, and the relation between them is known as an empirical relation. So empirical relation a distribution in which the value of mean, median and mode coincide is known as symmetrical distribution. In skewed, in which they are not coincide, such a distribution is known as either a skewed distribution or asymmetrical distribution. Skewed or asymmetrical distribution a very important relationship, a very important relationship among mean, median and mode exist. Mean, median and mode exist. And that relationship is that this relation is mean minus mode equal to 3 times mean minus median. So that is equivalent to say that mode equal to 3 times median minus 2 times mean. If we simplify it, we open the bracket, it will be 3 mean minus 3 median, but mode we will take on this side with positive sign, and I will shift all those one on this side. So 3 times median will become positive and minus 3 mean, and this is positive mean, so that will be 2 times mean. Basically this is an important relation between mean, median and mode, is known as an empirical relation. Is called an empirical relation. Empirical relation. And it can be used for finding the value of mode, when it is defined. Now what we have seen here, the distribution in which the value of mean, median and mode coincide. Means what? In symmetrical distribution all they are equal. So let me write that as a note as a summary for you. In symmetrical distribution is there, so that gives mean equal to mode equal to median. All are what? Equal. And in second, other thing is that if a distribution is either skewed or asymmetrical, then there exists such a relationship between them, and that relation is known as an empirical relation. So asymmetrical distribution is there, then that gives mode equal to 3 times median minus 2 times mean. This is the case here. These are two differences here. Now let us see the examples on this one. How a small example will ask on this one. So let us see the example on it. Example: for a moderately asymmetric frequency distribution, the values of arithmetic mean and median are 264 and 276 respectively. Now the question is that estimate modal value. Means we have to estimate mode. Now it is given in a question itself that for a moderately asymmetric frequency distribution, means this is an asymmetrical frequency distribution is there. So we know there is a relation between mean, median and mode if the distribution is asymmetric. Therefore solution of this one can be written as such. What is given to us? Mean and median. So let me write given that what is given? Mean equal to what? Now mean and median are these one respectively. So the first value is of mean, so it is 264 and median is 276. Therefore we need to use here empirical relation. So using empirical relation, what does that relation? Mode equal to 3 times median minus 2 times mean. So let us substitute the value of median and mean. Median is what here? 276 minus 2 times mean is what? 264. So this, you can take this product and this one also, and the subtraction will be 300. So the value of mode is how much? 300 for this distribution. Now let me take one more example here. For a skewed distribution, the mean and mode are the mean and mode are 12 and 11 respectively. 12 and 11 respectively. Then question is that find median. Suppose we have to determine median. So here, as here three things are related with each other, so any two are given, we can determine the third one. Same thing is here also. Now this is also, look at it, skewed distribution. Already I taught you that skewed is same as asymmetric, means which is not asymmetric. So skewed or asymmetric are equivalent. So if the distribution is skewed, then also this here the relation exists, which is what? The empirical relation. Therefore now the answer of this one can be written as, what is given to us, the given thing we should write first. So first of all, the mean is given and the mode is given to us. So mean is 12 and mode is what? 11. Mode is 11. Now what we have to determine? We have to determine median. This one we have to determine. Fine. Now again let me use empirical relation, but now here empirical relation, what does it say? It will be mode equal to 3 times median minus 2 times mean. So let us substitute the value of mode as well as a mean here, and we will determine this median. So it will be, mode is how much? 11. Look at here, given one, mode is 11, and median we have to determine. So let me write ME as its notation is there, and 2 times mean is how much? 12. So this is what? This is same as to say this is 11 equal to 3 times median minus this is 24. So let us take 24 to this side, it will become positive. So this is same as to say 3 times median equal to how much? 24 plus 11. So that will be 35. So we get median equal to how much? 35 upon 3. This 3 will come to denominator. So the answer is 11.6667. So the median is what here? Median for this distribution is 11.6667. This is our answer here. Fine. As such, a small question can be asked on this empirical relation for 2 marks or for 1 marks also. Now let us go for the next part. As I taught you previously also, if the frequency distribution or total frequency, the total frequency can be subdivided into various number of parts. Basically it is divided into 4 parts, 10 parts, 4 equal parts, 10 equal parts, and also sometimes 100 equal parts. So if it is subdivided into 4 equal parts, that is known as quartile. If it is subdivided into 10 equal parts, that is known as decile, and if it is subdivided into 100 equal parts, that is known as percentiles. So here actually we have to learn quartiles according to our syllabus. So that is known as partition values. We are divided it equally, so that is a partition, equal partition we are doing of it, and we have to learn what? Quartiles. Now before starting the quartiles, let me write shortly that these are the values. What are the partition values? That one I had already taught you. In a single sentence we will write them. These are the values. These are the values of the variate or of the variable that divides the total frequency. The total frequency into a number of equal parts. Into a number of equal parts. Number of equal parts. So number of parts or number of equal parts and a name. So if 4 equal parts, then its name is what? Quartiles. If 10 equal parts, then it is named as deciles. And if 100 equal parts, it is known as percentiles. Now we have to learn this thing, quartile here. So what is quartile? As the definition is very clear from here itself. If the total frequency is subdivided into 4 equal parts, that is what? A quartile. So quartiles are those values of the variable that divide the total frequency into 4 equal parts. Now there are total frequency is what? N. So N is subdivided into 4 equal parts. Suppose this is N. From 0 to N is here, suppose. Now if we make it 2 equal parts, it will be N by 2. 4 equal parts, then this one and this one. Now this is the division of 0 and N by 2. So it will be N by 4. And this middle one will be 3N by 4. So these are the 4 parts of this total frequency. N by 4, N by 2, 3N by 4 and N. We won't take N here. Actually these are the quartiles. This is what? N by 4 is known as a lower quartile, or this is what? It is denoted as Q1. This N by 2 is nothing but the median, and it is denoted by Q2. Q2 is nothing but what? Median. And this 3N by 4 is known as upper quartile, that is what? It is denoted as Q3. So these are the quartiles, Q1, Q2 and Q3, and the total frequency is denoted by N. So here I can say there are 3 quartiles. There are 3 quartiles. 3 quartiles. Which are they? Q1, Q2 and Q3. So now let us see them one by one. Q1, Q2 and Q3. There are formulas to determine them. Now Q2 is median, we know the formula of it. Now we will see the formula for Q1 and Q3 also, and I will simply give you in written form also what is Q1 and Q3. Fine. So Q1 is the lower quartile, and its value, and it is the value of the variable such that 1/4 or 25%, 1/4 or 25% of the observations. 25% of the observations have their value less than Q1. Now Q2 is same as median. Already I taught you. Q2 is same as, it makes 2 equal parts of the variable or the observations. So it's same as that of median, and it divides the data into two equal parts. The data into two equal parts. Two equal parts. Q3 is the upper quartile. Upper quartile, and it is the value. It is the value of the variable such that 3/4 or 75% of the observations have their values less than Q3. Fine. Now already I have taught you using a straight line. Now let us see the computation or the calculation of these quartiles. So computation of quartiles. Computation of quartiles. So let us see the steps involved in computation of quartiles. Are similar to that of median. So let us see first of all for lower quartile. So let me write A for lower quartile, or that is what? Q1. For Q1 we will see the steps. So first step is here, compute the less than type cumulative frequency. Less than type cumulative frequencies. Second step is that for lower quartile, Q1, compute n/4, where what is n? N is summation of all frequencies or the total frequency. You know that. Fine. So now first of all we have to locate Q1 class or the lower quartile class. So once we find n/4, so locate the Q1 class. It is the class corresponding to which cumulative frequency is greater than or equal to n/4 for the first time. As we know from median, we are determining there also less than type cumulative frequency, and we have to compute median class while computing median class, we are determining the value n by 2 and we are looking for the class intervals and the cumulative frequency in which the cumulative frequency which is greater than or equal to n by 2 for the first time, that will be the median class. Similar thing here, for lower quartile we have to determine n by 4 and the class corresponding to which cumulative frequency just greater than or equal to n by 4 for the first time, that class is known as what? The Q1 class, or the lower quartile class is that. Fine. Now once we determine the class, we have a formula. Then we can determine, using the formula we can determine the lower quartile. So lower quartile equal to Q1 and that is equal to L dash plus here n by 4 minus CF dash upon F dash into H. So what are these? If you remember from median, the median having the formula, median is equal to L plus what is there, n by 2 minus CF upon F multiplied by H. What are the terms? These one, this L is a lower limit of median class. Similar thing here, this L dash is a lower limit of Q1 class. Here n by 2 is known to you, that is the value of total frequency upon 2. Here same, total frequency upon 4. Here this CF means what? The less than type cumulative frequency of the class preceding to the median class. So same thing here, it is less than type cumulative frequency of the class preceding to Q1 class. And this F is the frequency of the median class. Here also this F dash is the frequency of the Q1 class. Multiply by H. H will be the same everywhere. Or here let me write H dash. It is the class width. So let me write the terms. L dash is what? Lower boundary of Q1 class. Lower boundary of Q1 class. Then n by 4 is known. Fine. Now let us write for CF dash. It is cumulative frequency of the class prior to or just before to Q1 class. Then F dash is the frequency of Q1 class. Frequency of Q1 class. And H dash is what? The class width. Or we can say width of Q1 class. Actually this is same everywhere. Not necessary to mention it is of Q1 class and all, as we use these things for continuous frequency distribution. So these are same everywhere. Now let us see the third for upper quartile. For upper quartile, that is what? Q3. Now here first of all we need to compute 3n by 4. This is 3/4 of total frequency. So compute 3n by 4 and then locate the Q3 class. Locate the Q3 class. It is the class corresponding to which the cumulative frequency is greater than or equal to 3n by 4. Greater than or equal to 3n by 4 first time. For the first time. Okay. Then while finding Q3 class, then upper quartile has the formula. Upper quartile Now I think no need to explain how to determine this Q3 class. Already I explained for Q1 class. You know for median from previous videos, and here Q3 class it is 3n by 4, and we have to look for cumulative frequency which is just greater than or equal to 3n by 4 for the first time. So upper quartile equal to Q3, that is equal to what? L double dash. Obviously the formulas are much similar. Here simply n by 4 be replaced by 3n by 4. Obviously the cumulative frequency changes and the frequency also changes. Multiply by h double dash. Fine. Obviously here L double dash will be the lower boundary of Q3 class. 3n by 4 is known to us. Cf double dash will be a cumulative frequency of class just above up to Q3 class, that is prior to Q3 class. F double dash is the frequency of Q3 class, and H double dash is known to you, that is class width. So let me write those terms in detail, where L double dash is lower boundary of Q3 class. Fine. Cf double dash is cumulative frequency of the class prior to or above Q3 class. Then F double dash is the frequency of Q3 class. And H double dash is what? The class width. Fine. Now these are the formulas of these. Now let us see these things graphically. You know median can be determined graphically using less than type cumulative frequency curve. So here on less than type cumulative frequency curve we can show all the quartiles also. So let me show you them on a graph. You know less than type cumulative frequency curve is an increasing curve. So here x-axis, on x-axis we will write the upper class boundaries, okay, and on y-axis we will write less than type cumulative frequencies, Fine. You know, after all, adding the cumulative less than type cumulative frequency, the cumulative frequency for the last class is nothing but the total frequency. So somewhere here, suppose the total frequency is n. Now first of all let us draw the curve. Suppose our curve is as such. Now here, suppose if this is n, this is what? Origin. So according to this the half will be here. So that half will be nothing but what? N by 2. We will locate n by 2 on y-axis and we will draw a line parallel to whom? X-axis here, and that line will meet to ogive curve or this less than type cumulative frequency curve at a point. From that point we will draw a perpendicular on x-axis. So the foot of perpendicular is nothing but our median, and the median is here what? The second quartile, that is Q2. Now this, in this way, this is Q2. Now here obviously we have to locate n by 4 and 3n by 4, and those one will intersect to ogive curve just like a median, and we have to draw perpendicular on x-axis that gives us what? The quartiles. So here if I draw a perpendicular from this point of intersection, that give me first quartile Q1, and here it gives me the third quartile, that is Q3. Let us draw a perpendicular from here also. This is what? Q3. As such, from Ogilvy curve also we can determine Q1, Q2 and Q3. Now, if you look it carefully, between Q1 and Q3 there are 50% observations. So, Q3 minus Q1 gives the range of the central 50% observations. Fine. So, now let me write that as a note here. Between Q1 and Q3 there are 50% observations. 50% of the observations. 50% of the observations. Therefore, Q3 minus Q1 gives the range of the central 50% of the observations. Fine. Suppose this is the first note. Now the second note is that, you know, median is what? Q2. Median is what? Q2. Now the third note is that, or let me write that one above. Just a minute. Third important note is that partition values are not equispaced. Partition values are not equispaced. However, the area under the curve, between any two successive quartiles, or we can say partition values, successive partition values of the same type, if they are quartiles, if they are deciles or percentiles of the same type, are or is same. We can't say are, it is area, so is same. Fine. Then the next remark is that in economics and business statistics, quartiles are widely used, more widely used. Most of the use of quartiles, they are more widely used than deciles and percentiles. Okay. Next note is that deciles and percentiles are important in psychological and educational statistics. psychological and educational statistics. For grades, rates, ranks, etc. They are of use in economics and business statistics, in personal work, productivity, rating, and other such situations. Now, the next thing is that quartiles, deciles, or other also, etc. I can say are not averages. These are not averages. While mean, median, mode are what? The averages. Now, let us take a small example on finding the quartile. So, example, I will take a small example on individual series distribution. So, calculate lower quartile, and median, for the data. Now what is the data here? The data of the observations are given: 51, 52, 53, 51, again 53, 54, suppose 50, 55, then 53, 55 and 56. So these are, one more I will take 54. So these are 12 observations with us. So solution. Now first of all we have to write them in, if individual series distribution is given, first of all we have to write it in either ascending order or descending order. So the given observations are in ascending order would be what are they? 50, 51, 51, 52, 53, 53, 53, 54, 54, 55, 55 and 56, the last one, as such. Fine. Therefore, or I must write and number of observations, that are how much? 12. Therefore, median is what? The number of observations are 12. So median is nothing but n by 2 plus 1th observation, because it is even, which is even. Therefore median is n by 2th observation plus n by 2 plus 1th observation upon what? 2. Arithmetic mean of these two. So here n by 2 means what? 6th observation, as n is 12, and n by 2 plus 1 means 7th observation upon what? 2. So what is 6th observation here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, means 53 and 53 are the 6th and 7th observation. So 53 plus 53 upon 2, so that is equal to what here? 53. Fine. Now lower quartile. Lower quartile is what? Here n by 4 observation plus n by 4 plus 1th observation upon 2. So n by 4 means what here? 12 by 4, so it will be third observation, plus 3 plus 1, so fourth observation upon 2. So what is third observation? 51, and fourth will be 52. So 51 plus 52 upon 2, so it will be 51.5. So as such the quartile can be determined. Now if the question is asked for upper quartile, then it will be 3n by 4th observation and 3n by 4 plus 1th observation. So 3n by 4 is what here? 3 times n by 4. n by 4 is 4. 3 4s are, sorry, n by 4 is 3. 12 by 4, so it will be 3. 3 3s are 9. So 9th and 10th observation. The mean of 9th and 10th observation we have to determine here. That will be the upper quartile. Now here we will stop for today. Now in next video we will see some more examples for determining upper and lower quartile, in which the continuous frequency distributions are given. Thank you.